In this video, we'll have a look at a project I've been working on for the Flipper Zero. So I've tried to make an all-in-one attachment for the Flipper Zero, and I've got as many modules as I have, and try to just incorporate it all in together. So before I start this video, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of this video, PCBWay. If you want to take your projects to the next level, they offer a number of different services from manufacturing PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection molding. So if you need any of these services, I would highly recommend you check them out. I've used them before for a couple of my other projects, and I've been really happy with their customer service and the quality of the products. And they're quite reasonably priced, especially if you're just looking at getting a PCB board made. And they also offer, the full service, so you can get a PCB board and also the components put on as well. So yeah, definitely have a look at them, and we'll get started on the video. So what we've got here is, these are all the modules that I've tried to incorporate in this all-in-one attachment. So starting from the left side, we've got it's a CC1101, and it's got a two-way amplifier as well. The next one, we've got just an NRF24 for mouse sniffing and mouse jacking. And we've got a W5500 for the Ethernet or LAN. Got a Raspberry Pi Pico. This is just for the video game module, so you can just connect it to a monitor or a TV. This one here is just a Flipboard, so just 4 switches and some near pixel LEDs. We've got an ESP32 cam for mayhem. This one here is just the OLED display for which will show which module is connected. We've got a fan just to help cool. This one here is a GPI headers, so you can connect other modules to this as well. So if you wanted to connect, like I can connect my IR sniper to this, or any other module you want, essentially. And this is essentially the main I'd say hub or something. So we've got 3 ESP32s, and the reason I put 3 on is just sort of a proof of concept of how many modules I can put onto this all-in-one. But I guess the purpose of having 3 is I've got ESP, the Ghost ESP on this one. This one's just got Marauder, and this one's got, this ESP32 is connected to the GPS, so I can have War Driver connected to this one as well. We've got the GPS module. With this GPS module, it can work with this ESP32. It can also work independently. So this one, we can have this GPS running, and it can also use it with, I guess, the sub gigahertz as well. And the last module I've got is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just here. It's the DHT22, which is a temp sensor. So I've just tried to put it as neatly as possible there. This whole thing is running off. So what's controlling all of this is, I've got I don't know if you can see it, but there's an Arduino Nano here, which controls all these multiplexes here. So I've got a total of 16. So I've got all these there, and there's some more in here. So these are CD4051BE, which these are essentially just logic switches, and they're bidirectional. So the way this works is, for each GPIO, so each one of these GPIO header pins or connections will go to one of these. So you've got an input, which is also input output, and then you've got 8 channels. So the Arduino will control which channel it's going to. So if I wanted to go to, say, the sub gigahertz, you'll go to channel, I think it's channel 1 or something. So we've got a input and output that goes to the Flipper Zero. So that will get connected to here. And then we've got 8 different channels which will go to the modules. And it's bi-directional, so the signals can go both ways. So it can go from the flipper to the module, and then the module to the flipper. I guess the only issue I had was I wanted to control each module's power as well from one of the multiplexers, but it wasn't producing enough current to the modules, so the modules weren't working. So I had to connect transistors and then relays. So in total, I've got 14 transistors and then 14 relays, which controls the power for each separate module. So I can turn it on and off. Yeah, so it is quite complex, but yet it's quite simple as well. It's just quite tedious doing the wiring. So I've got two channels. So I'll plug it in just to show what it looks like. So let's get a USB. And I've just got some switches here. So we've got A, which is essentially just the first row of headers, and then we've got GPIO B, which is the second row. So I can control independently what's on this side and what's on this side. And then I can just essentially just toggle through all the different modules. And I'm going to power this off by using just this battery here. So it's a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. So to control all this, it's going to be run off this and not the Flipper Zero for the main control of these, you know, which switching between the modules and stuff. The fan and also the powered amplifier will be run off the battery as well. So it doesn't use any power from the Flipper Zero. So the next part is I'm just going to put this all into a case and wire up this to here. So this will go into here and this will get run to the all-in-one unit in the case, and then I can go and switch between all the different modules. So hopefully in this next slide or next part of this video, I'll have that completed and I'll show you that. So this is the next morning and I've finished putting it into a case. So we've got the fan here, we've got the Flipboard on the top, we've got the OLED display, we've got the GPIO headers, and we've got the switch. We've got the Raspberry Pi Pico, the NRF24, the CC1101, the Ethernet ports down here as well, and the HDMI. And I put the ESP32 cam on the top. The main board's just there, sitting on top of the battery. And we've got just a battery charger here. So we'll look at the case. This is here. Pull this off. So this is what goes into the flipper. The good thing about having the GPIO headers there, I can connect it there when it's not in use and it keeps the pins safe. So the ESP32 cam, sub gigahertz antenna. And on the back we've got the Ethernet and the HDMI, and then I've just got some cutouts for the venting for the fan. And I'll just turn it on and have a look. So it's got a switch on the side there. So you can toggle through all the different modules that are in use or will be in use. So for A, we've got is just for the first row, and then for B is the second row. So it's all the modules that work off each separate row. So the first one we've got is sub-gigahertz, NRF24, Ethernet, temp sense, the Flipboard, and a fan. So it's currently only running off 7 channels. So I've got an additional 1 channel on each row of GPIO headers, so I can add another 2 modules if I wanted to. So in theory, you could have 16 different modules on this. And for the second one, we've got the ESP32 Ghost, ESP32 Marauder, ESP32 War Driver, and then I've got the ESP32 Cam, GPS, and then the video game module, and then it goes back to GPIO. So when it's on GPIO, it's connected to this one. Essentially, when it's connected to the flipper, it's off. There's nothing connected until I have something connected to there. So quick demo. I always look at sub-gigahertz first. So I won't look at all of them, just showing you that it works. So you can see it's on external, and I can go read, and I've just got a little right there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Go out. NRF24, that's fine. So this is the Ethernet. I'll have a look at this one. So if we go into there, and you'll see down here the light will turn on when I press this. So it's just activated, and I just get out of that. What else have we got? Temp, I'll look at that a bit later. Flipboard, and we've got the fan. So originally I had a gyroscope for the video game module, but I didn't think it was very useful. So I thought having a fan would be a bit cooler, literally, as well. So the purpose of having a fan is sort of fail-safe if I ever needed it for the sub-gigahertz, because the amplifier has a heatsink, so I don't know if it gets too hot, but I doubt it does for the amount of time I do use it. So I can connect up the fan to when the sub-gigahertz is on to be running as well, if I ever needed it, like to cool it. So we've got ESP32. So if we go to Ghost. Yeah, it's just scanned the things there. I can, oh, sorry, let's put it on 0. Same thing, War Driver, sorry, Marauder. I'm not going to show that because it's just a do it again. There you go. So you can see that's working. So now we've got ESP32 Cam, which is just running off the Mayhem firmware. So I can go to camera. And it's just, yeah, so it's just a bit of fun there. We've got the Morse code. Motion detector. So yeah, it's got a suite of other apps as well. GPS. But yeah, it's obviously got to find a signal, and it being inside, it takes a while to, or you might not even find a signal. Then we got the video game module. So it's on. So I'll have a quick look at this one. I'll just connect the HDMI port to it. And I might also just change it to something like the temp. So the good thing about having this is I can then go into, I can use the HDMI output, but also use modules that are connected to this first row as well. So I can use a temp. And yeah, displays there. Let's disconnect the HDMI port. But yeah, that's it there. The little project I've been working on. So I think it's a nice little, a nice attachment to the Flipper Zero. It's probably, my equivalent to a BFFB, except mine stands for Big FN Flipper Box. So I forgot to show the Flipboard function. So if we go to Flipboard on here, then we go to turn on the GPIO 5V. So there's a number of different apps available. I'll just show a couple. So you just sort of go through the lights. We've got the keyboard function as well. So you can program it to do certain things when you press the button. But my favorite one is Flipboard Simon. So it's just the game. So we can start it. Press OK to play. I missed that one, sorry. My memory is not that great, so this is pretty good at helping. But yeah, it does get tricky, so I'll just show you doing it wrong. Yeah, that's the end of the video now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.